What a time to be alive if you own gold and silver. And if you don't own gold and silver, is it a good time to start buying this stuff? It's certainly an interesting time in the markets. Whether it's a good time or not is something I will have to leave up to you to decide. But for me, as a seasoned stacker of precious metals, got one errant coin rolling away, for me, I think I might be done with silver. That's because I own it. Not because I think it's bad, but because I don't think buying it right now at the high premiums and the high price points is right for me in my personal financial circumstances. But what I do like to think is that it's way better than holding this stuff. And also, it's way safer than holding this stuff because there is a lot of problem in the world right now, and gold and silver seem to be one of the ways that you can protect yourself. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about 2026 for gold and silver and what lies ahead. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble where we have down-to-earth discussions about all things precious and shiny, and it has been a very good year for gold, silver, and indeed platinum. I even have a little bit of platinum here on my finger in a wedding ring, because when I was getting married, I thought platinum was the best thing to buy, but apparently it's worth less than gold now. Who'd have thought? It's fast coming up, but at the same time, it's a bit of a weird metal. But the year is now coming to an end, and we have finished the year on a bit of a roller coaster for silver at £53.71. There was a spike up to £62.52 this week, but it has pulled back a little bit. Now, for those in the US, that was around $85, currently sitting at $72. That's a fairly hefty discount on that all-time high price. How high will it go? I can't pretend to know. I can't pretend to, quite frankly, even care, because ultimately, unless you have actually sold some silver, you haven't cashed in any of your position. And right now, let me tell you, I am very, very keen to keep hold of as much silver as I possibly can. I realize I'm not going to be able to open this beautiful cigar-looking object full of fractional silver without some help. And so for 2026, am I going to be buying more silver, I guess is one of the big questions that I certainly have been emailed an awful lot to be asked. There we go, lots of fractional silver. Am I buying silver? I'm afraid the long and short answer of it is going to be yes and no. I have to buy some silver for my poured silver business. That is just part of business. I have to buy raw material to pour and melt into this, and there are complexities around that because, of course, it's a fluctuating market, and if I am going to be trying to price up a product for a customer, I need to know what I'm going to pay for my raw materials. Otherwise, I'd be working for free or at a loss, which is not exactly what you want. But there are some inevitabilities to that, unfortunately, with the nature of the markets. So yes, I will be buying silver for this side of my life, but this side of my life, where I will have silver for stacking, I'm not buying any. I'm not buying any. I just don't, well, first of all, fractional stuff, I just don't see the point of it. I've got some here because this has come in at a dirt cheap price when I bought it. I bought it for just a fraction over spot price, I believe, at the time, and I can't remember exactly what that was. I'd have to look up at the spreadsheet, but it was cheap. And so I was like, well, it makes sense to have it. So that's pretty much the only fractional silver that I'll look to have. In terms of big old chunky investment silver, no. I mean, I'm sort of investing in silver for when it comes to my business, but that's very much a business related asset because at the end of the day, I'm going to be paying 40% income tax on that. And that's not very nice. And plus additional national insurance contributions. So you pay your dues on the business income that you make. But from a stacking perspective, I don't really feel that it's sustainable right now. Now, I might come to eat those words in terms of silver, in terms of having investments in precious metals. I've already got them. That's the thing, I think, that's the problem. If I was brand new to this, would I still buy silver? Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, if I was looking at things back how I got started with silver, what was it, nearly 11 years ago now, I would say at that time, I was looking at charts, I was looking at articles and reading information about gold and silver, and things were at all-time lows. I'd seen the chart saying that just 3 years prior there'd been a humongous peak in that 2011 peak, and now we're in the slump. And so if I was brand new into silver and I was looking at it right now, I probably wouldn't want to buy it. And I think it's the same because I'm blessed to have silver as investments, that I don't really feel like I need to add any more to it. Now, hindsight is an incredibly wonderful thing, and I would have loved to go back in time, even just a year, and back the truck up and have an absolute boatload of this stuff. But I haven't, and you can't live with regrets like that. You can't just live with the green-eyed envy of others. And, you know, there are people on YouTube, and myself included, who will share beautiful, shiny bits of silver on a daily, weekly basis, and you can sit there and you can get quite envious of the fact that those people have done quite well on their investments. But it's the same principle as to you know, things like Bitcoin. Like, oh, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was £1,000 a Bitcoin or something. But you know, that's just life. You don't do, for the right reasons, I didn't go all in on silver, and I still stand by that decision. In fact, there was a very interesting comment on one of my older videos, which was, I think, if I had no gold and silver, what would I buy today? It's the one that's got like over 1 million views on my channel. And in there, I basically ended up saying I'd buy gold instead of silver. And from that dated of that video, gold over doubled and more. Silver has outperformed gold from that video. And so I've had a lot of comments from people going, do you regret A, making that video, and B, the decisions that you made in that video, not buying more silver? Well, from a spot price perspective, yes, that is correct. They have outperformed gold, but from a premium perspective, if you are buying silver with the premiums on top, if you're buying silver with the VAT on top, gold has outperformed silver. Now that's more of a UK based unique thing, but unfortunately we can compare that now with the markets of today because there are premiums everywhere. Even if you're buying second hand stuff, you are paying at very least £5 over spot or more. And that's nearly 10%, depending on where spot price is at the time and what you're buying. If you're buying Britannias, you'd be paying £10 over. That's 20% over spot price. I can't see a place where that's a realistically good idea, but I've been wrong at £35 an ounce, wrong at £40 an ounce, wrong at £50 an ounce, wrong at 55, and then it tipped over 60. So I don't know, is the honest answer. But for me, having a bunch of silver already, I feel quite comfy in the fact that I'm enjoying it. Now, to the sort of second part of my video here, am I going to be selling any of my silver? And the honest answer is no. And there's a few faceted reasons to that. One, I definitely feel there's a lot more room for silver to go up. I do genuinely feel that at some point in 2026, we're going to see 70, 80, 90, maybe even £100 for an ounce of silver. I've been very much against the idea of a shoot the moon scenario for silver for a very long time, but the biggest thing that I see is the stuff that is behind this gold, money, cash. That is the thing that worries me most. It is devaluing almost daily at the moment, weekly. Things are getting more expensive, and this we're now seeing played out in real time, I think, in the gold and silver markets, in platinum, in anything commodity based. Things are going up in price because this stuff is losing value. And so the silver and gold that I have, if I was to exchange it for stuff like this, paper money, I just would feel like there's no real point for me right now because I don't need the cash immediately. There are no big purchases or bills or house moves or, you know, brand new cars or lifetime holidays or kids' school fees yet to factor in. But at some point down the line, those will be factors to play at, and I want to make sure that the buying power of my money transports through time to that point in time when I need it most. And so for right now, I'm not going to be cashing out on some of the profits. And the crazy thing is that when you look at some of the profits that are out there on this stuff, with the premiums, for example, I'm seeing people paying £2,500 for kilo bars on eBay, and there is no doubt in my mind that I could go and stick some of these bars on the old eBay and have that massive windfall. Now, there is a twofold problem here. The first is that there will be a fairly hefty capital gains tax bill for me to pay in the event that I made more of that profit. In fact, I would definitely be over that because I've already made some profit on some stocks and shares that I've cashed in this year. So I would lose immediately 24% of that profit. But also, I kind of feel like the money that I would get in, what would I end up doing with it? Well, I'd probably end up buying some more gold or silver. So what's the point? There is no point in my mind to cash out and make a profit on this stuff right now. So from my perspective, I'm just going to crack on, enjoying the gains that happen almost on a weekly basis for the silver that I currently own. I'm going to continue to struggle along with the silver that I require for my business in 2026, and it's going to be a taxing year, I think, for business. Now, in terms of like profitability, it's going to be very interesting to see how we do, but it's like, the problem is, if I add 10 to 15 pounds an ounce per ounce of silver that I sell, and then I take all my costs out of that, including hallmarking, postage, all of the other things, overheads, furnace costs, crucible costs, mold costs, all of these other little things, stamps cost, there's a whole host of different overheads that go into anything like that. If I end up making a net profit of around, let's say, 8 to 10 pounds an ounce, depending on the product and the piece and the size, when I'm selling something for 70, 80 pound an ounce, that's not a lot. That's a very small margin. And that margin can be very highly impacted by the fluctuating markets and prices of silver. And for the amount of work that goes into that, and then there's a compounding problem of the VAT registration threshold, because I'm now selling more and making less profit margin, it means that I can sell less to make the same amount, well, I have to sell more in terms of pounds value to make the same amount of profit. So my profitability is way down on silver, assuming that I stay underneath the VAT registration threshold. Then the problem becomes, well, if I go above the VAT registration threshold, yes, there are savings to be had by buying raw materials and claiming back the VAT, but at the same time, there's still premiums on those raw materials, so I'm still way above, and then I have to charge nearly 85, 90 pounds an ounce for my products, and that's not fair on you guys in there. And I don't feel like I should be selling something that is at a price point like that. You know, you look at places like Bullion by Post who are offering out Britannia's at like 90 pounds an ounce because they're putting a huge premium on it, and then that premium is being compounded by the VAT element. It's just not sustainable, and I don't think that's right. I am very much against VAT as a principle. I think it's a harsh tax. I think it's a tax that actually penalises people on the lower end of wealth scales way more than it does any other things. I think it penalises business. I think it stifles business. I think it's just a really unfair and pretty crappy tax, quite frankly. So I've always done my level best to be underneath that VAT registration threshold in a completely legal and operating way. But it's unavoidable that it might have to happen, unfortunately, and I don't know quite where that's going to be. It depends on what I do with my product lines. It depends what I do with the portfolio. It sort of depends on where the price ends up as well, to be quite frank. But yeah, interesting times ahead for my business. But from a stacking perspective, I'm sort of done. I'm sort of done for silver anyway. I feel like I'm going to be accumulating, if I'm accumulating anything with spare funds this year for money that I want to put away for another 10, 15, 20 years, I'm going to be accumulating gold. And that might sound like a really strange thing for a lot of people out there, but it's just safer, it's just better. And I do think right now gold is undervalued relative to silver. Now, I'm not saying gold is undervalued being at $4,500 an ounce, £3,200 an ounce, whatever it might be. For sure, it's expensive, but at the same time, relative to what your money gets you for silver, I think gold is the way forwards. And certainly that's what the ratio suggests. And if I'm going to be buying gold and the ratio keeps on expanding and going down and down and down, then that's fine with me. I'll just keep buying more gold because it will get cheaper if silver keeps going up. And I won't live with regrets of not getting the profits out of the silver, because at the same time, if I'm buying that silver with a premium, I'm not going to be getting the profits on it. So, yeah. I think it's a weird time to be a silver stacker. It's a great time to own this stuff. I mean, look, here's the simple maths. A set of these 11, which, by the way, we might have some sets available, not from my own personal collection, but from other people. There are going to be Buyers Club deals coming up through 2026. That's something I wanted to touch on in this video as well. I apologize, it's already a 14-minute long video, and we're going to be here for another 5-10 minutes, I think, because there's so much to talk about in 2026. But anyway, these sets now are going for like £1,800, £1,900, £2,000 even, or more. There is something to be said about cashing out on premiums right now. There are definitely options for people in terms of making a bit of money. But as I said, it's about what you do with the money. And for me right now, this money that I've put into gold and silver, it's working for me every single day. Whereas this stuff that's sitting here on the table is losing value every single day. It's in the bank account losing value every single day. It's not good. And I don't like the idea of this stuff's real. It's just better in every single way. But I probably don't need to tell you about that because I'm kind of preaching to the choir. If you're watching to this point in the video, you very much are in that cool kid club. Talking of the cool kids club, we do need to do some giveaways for some silver. Now, I have a Britannia here, which I'm going to be giving away. The second piece of silver that we're going to give away is actually a maple leaf, and I should have had it out here on the table, but I have neglected to do that. So I will have to dig a maple leaf out from the safe, and we'll be giving these away. They're just bullion coins. You can see this is just a really ratty-tatty old one, but we're going to do that. That's going to come at the end of this video, so stick around. If you're in the Cool Kid Club, we're going to draw a couple of winners. Right, last bit of what I want to talk about, Buyers Club. So I've talked a lot about my stacking, how I'm done with silver, probably going to buy gold. Talked a bit about my business, the challenges I face, I should say, for this year ahead. It's going to be very interesting. 10-year anniversary of business. Wow, I have so much to talk about. Anyway, Buyers Club. We've been doing Buyers Club on the sort of down low this last year. In that, what I mean is we've not been advertising that service. What I would like to do is start selectively putting that service back into sort of an advertising circulation. So here's my hidden advert at the 15-16 minute point of a BYB rambling video that not very many people will watch. But if you are watching and you do want to consider selling some of your silver in a fair way, we're not here to maximize premiums for people. We're here to help you sell in a quick, fast, efficient way. For those that maybe don't know what I'm talking about, if you want to sell, you've got two options. You go to a bullion dealer and they give you what they give you. If it's a bar, it's going to be spot price. If it's a Britannia, you might get a little bit above spot price. What we aim to do is get you a little bit more than you would get from a bullion dealer, but at the same time, make it a good deal for people who are looking to buy right now. Because if you are wanting to buy right now, buying at 75, 85, 90 pounds an ounce for Britannias is a stupid way to go about silver stacking. You are gonna lose money in that short term, unless you hold it for 10 more years. But if we can get people looking to sell responsibly at £5, £6, £7 over spot price for those bits of silver, which is a fair premium, it's the going rate right now, then I'd love to help people do that. And we've been doing that over this last couple of years. It's worked really well. We've helped people get out of their positions where they need to in a more efficient way. And so I'm opening the doors somewhat. If you've got stuff that you want to sell, then please get in touch. There's an email address down in the description box below. If you want to buy, then now is the best time to sign up to our newsletter. You can do that one of two ways. There is a link in the description box below to our subscription newsletter webpage, which is on a Beehive platform, or you can go to our website. It's on the homepage. You just put your email address in there and I'll add you to the list. There we go. That is pretty much, I think, it now for 2025, with the exception of drawing the giveaway for this Britannia and another maple leaf, which I need to dig out of. In fact, I can see it here. All right, I think this is a maple. It's a maple tube anyway. There's a good chance there might be something else in the tube, so let's just crack it open and make sure. It would be remiss of me not to have the things that we're actually going to do. Yeah, here we go, we've got a maple. So there you go, a maple and a Britannia giving away. And if you're new to what this is, we didn't do it in November because I was a bit too busy, but what we do every month is we will be giving away 1 ounce of silver to somebody who comments on one of our videos in a cool kid club way. So basically, I like to make a little secret phrase for people who would like to comment down in that comment section so that I know you're still watching to what now, the 19th minute of a video. And so there will be no cool kid club comment on this other than for people to say, hello Backyard Bullion. Oh, you can tell me congratulations on my subscriber milestone. We got 89,000, so there you go. If you want to be really cool, you can say, hello Backyard Bullion, well done on 89,000 subscribers. 100k next year, it's hopefully going to happen. So anyway, 1 silver per month to somebody who comments on a video in a cool kid club way, and then we'll get that to you. So we're going to go jump over to the PC now and do that comment, prize, giveaway thing, selector, jobby, you know what I mean. I start to ramble now. But before we just jump over there, I do want to just reiterate my huge and massive thanks to all of you incredible people in the camera for watching this year, for 2025, and look ahead to 2026. It's going to be really exciting. We're already kicking off the year in style with some incredible coin reviews and plenty more precious metal rambles. Thank you all. Now let's crack on and do our giveaway. Okay, it's time to pick the winners for the Cool Kids Club prizes. Now, we've got lots of videos to look through. In December, there were 20 videos, starting up here with Platinum Shoot the Moon, and then the last video was That's Not Good, Caught a Fake. Then in November, there are 16 videos, starting from this one, from the Raw Mint But Better, down to the Bunker Bullion. Incredible pieces there. God, I love those Bunker Bullion pieces. So 16 videos for November, 20 videos for December. So we need to choose a number between 1 and 16. And then pick that video, and it's going to be video 11. So the 11th video in November. Here we go. We've got to find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's gold and stacking, how it completely changed my life. So copy link address, and then we put this into there. We fetch, we get rid of replies, and we load the comments. The 66 comments, and the winner is Jerry Mandarin 6. Fantastic. It's great to see Jerry Mandarin, who has won this prize. He's going to win the Britannia, and it's fantastic to see that because he's one of our long-term subscribers. So, well done to Jerry Mandarin. Now we need to pick a winner for December. Now there were 20 videos in December. We're going to generate that. It's the 15th video that we did. So, starting on this one, the fake, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's the Repubblica Italiana. Fantastic coin. If you haven't seen that particular coin, then it is well worth watching. So we want to get rid of this comment. Come on, let's go. Why won't it get rid of it? Maybe I have to refresh the page. Refresh the page. There we go. That's better. We put that in. We fetch. We get rid of replies. We go anything goes. There are 19 comments, and we have Blistering Barnacles Adventure, who has won the Maple Leaf. And that's fantastic to see him win. Or her, I don't know, I think it's a him, because he's a long-term subscriber and supporter and watches a lot of our videos. So well done, Blistering Barnacles. I'll put replies on those 2 comments. Please get in touch with me. Email address down in the comment section. I will just pick one lucky backup winner, and that lucky backup winner is going to be from video 7 in December. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's Bullion Dealers Can't Believe It. So we're going to just do one backup winner. If for whatever reason one of those 2 winners don't get in touch, this backup winner will have that prize coming to them, and it's going to be MJ Kiwi 1979. Looking forward to the Funky Britannia video. He is the backup winner. Thanks all. Keep commenting if you'd like chances to win little bits of silver across 2026. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.